Hey there, just a quick little video to show you and talk about a few tips on frothing milk. So I always get a lot of questions about non-dairy milks because our dairy milks do froth up quite well. If you have any issues though, just reach out to me. I've got some tips and tricks on that as well. But today we're gonna froth up some oat milk. So I have got Earth's Own, I believe it's an unsweetened original vanilla oat milk, and that's what we have at our local grocery store. So that's what I usually have in my fridge. I find that almond milk is a very similar froth to this one. So typically your non-dairy milks are not going to get quite as thick as you might get with the dairy, but I've had pretty good success. So let's do it together here and we can kind of walk through what we do. So I've got the handy dandy milk frother ready to go here, and I have warmed up my milk. So the first tip I want to give you is that you want to have at least 3/4 of a cup of milk in your frother. If you try to use about a half cup or less, it's not going to froth up for you, and that is simply because I believe that the screen doesn't quite reach down like far enough right to the bottom to lift that milk up and pump the air into it. So that's my first tip for you. So I've warmed that up. I just warmed it up in the microwave. I gave it like 45 seconds, I believe. So it's just warm. And what I do find with the non-dairy milks is that I need to pump it a little bit longer. So like maybe a good minute. Usually if I'm doing skim milk or something like that, I can start to feel the resistance almost right away. As soon as I start pumping, I usually do 30-40 seconds, and then I let it sit for just, another 20 seconds, and it's good. But with the oat milk, I like to give it, a good minute of frothing, and you can usually start to feel the resistance a little bit. Then the ticket is to just let that sit for, another minute or so. And then it'll kind of form a nice layer of froth on top. So you're gonna get more of a foamy froth with your non-dairy milks as opposed to the dairy milks, a little bit of a thicker froth. And if you're into lactose-free dairy, that is probably the absolute best froth you will ever get. For some reason, it just froths up like ridiculously thick. So that's kind of awesome. And good to know, right? So what I am making myself here today is a caramel latte. So I thought it'd be a good time to do a video. I just felt like having a caffeine-free latte sip, and the rooibos teas are so good for that. So I'm using the caramel, now what is that tea called? It's kind of a new one. Caramel cream rooibos? I actually kind of forget what the name of that tea is. Okay, so I've been frothing probably about a minute here. So let's just let that sit now, and then we can check it together and see what happens in there. So I've got my glitter bubble cup. I've got my caramel cream tea in here, and a rooibos tea is always just a 4-minute steep. So I know that's been steeping probably 6 or 7 minutes. And so it is good to go. And the one thing that I like about the rooibos teas is that you really can't oversteep them. You could let that sit in there for 10 minutes and it's not going to oversteep. It's not like a traditional tea where if you oversteep it, it's going to become bitter on you. So that's good to know, right? Little tips and tricks. I'm just going to grab a spoon. And all right, let's take a look. Let's see what happened in here. Okay, so you can see on the lid there, it's definitely a little bit frothy. We'll just let that drip off. And we'll pour it in the cup and we'll see how foamy it looks. It's actually not bad at all. I didn't need my spoon either. But you can see that we've incorporated quite a bit of air into it, and we're still gonna have a nice layer of foam that sits right on top of our latte there. So I say cheers to that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to treat myself with a little bit of caramel sauce on top of this too, because it is just a nice addition to the caramel latte. Sometimes I add a little whip on there too. All right, there we go, cheers. So if you have any questions about the frother or different milks, please just let me know and we can chat it out. All right, thanks for watching.